Good afternoon and welcome to Blacktown International Sports Park. A beautiful, gorgeous, terrific day in Sydney's West. And it's round two of the NEAFL 2017 Premiership season. Today we've got last year's runners-up Sydney Swans hosting Southport Sharks, who have come south from the Gold Coast. My name's Will Davies. It's terrific to be with you and great to be joined by Jono Farr, new to the coverage in 2017. Jono, one game in. Both of these two teams suffered a loss last week, but they'll be keen to fire up and get things going. Welcome to you, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, very welcome, and a good afternoon to you, Will Davies. Great to be here at Blacktown International Sports Park. As he said, Will, a magnificent day in Sydney's West. What am I looking forward to? Just some solid footy. These two teams, as you said, they're coming off a loss, so they'll really want to open their account with a win. The W in that column, so they're really going to put on a show this afternoon. We've been watching the sides warm up for the last 5-10 minutes. They look right, they look fresh, they look good. So we look like we're in for a really strong afternoon of footy here.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how the Swans bounce back from that disappointing loss against Brisbane last week. Brisbane could be one of the much improved sides in 2017, depending on how their AFL list stays fit and healthy. And the Swans, on that loss, well, I'm not too sure how Reece Shaw would have taken it, but they'll be fired up to get that first win at home, and Brandon Jack wins the toss. They'll kick to the right of your screens early on. It's an impressive-looking Swans lineup. They've got a host of AFL-listed players: James Rose, Harry Cunningham, Jeremy Laidler. Laidler's been dropped from the AFL side. Darcy Cameron, who's an exciting mature-age rookie for them, looking to try and get himself up into that AFL side as a forward/ruck. Dean Towers, Leonardis, Brandon Jack O'Riordan, Sam Fisher. It'll be good to see how he goes now that he's on that AFL list after playing against the Swans in the grand final last year for the Giants. And Southport, they've got some familiar faces, and they're named, or they'll line up as named, but a couple of their recruits, Hamish Shepherd, I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes after his NEAFL debut last weekend. A former waffle player, and he did win a premiership in that competition. He's a big man, and we'll look forward to seeing how he goes. Jono, you haven't seen much of these two teams, if at all, but what do you think might happen in terms of a result and how the game will go?
Look, I think just the Swans today. I think that just the class that they've got in the side and the mix of experience. You talk about Jeremy Laidler. He's the oldest of the playing group at 28, born in 89. Yeah, I think Southport, they just look like they're a development squad at the moment from what I've seen in the last couple of weeks watching some of their games from last season and then, of course, round one in 2017. But I just think the mix of youth and experience that the Swans have got and just the development program that they've got might be the difference here this afternoon.
Yeah, I think the Swans will win and should win quite well. Southport started very, very strongly against Sydney Uni last week, who many tipped to win this year's flag. Sydney Uni and Southport were leading them at half-time before Sydney Uni produced one of their trademark second-half fight-backs just to overrun their opposition and back their systems and structures. Clichés aside, though, got Nathan Box Southport against Sydney Swans reserves coached by Reece Shaw, and the Swans were the most impressive side to start 2016, and then they were beaten in the grand final by 4 points last year. We've got Darcy Cameron in the ruck for the Swans, up against big Fraser Thurlow. He's a monster of a man, Fraser Thurlow. He'll look to get plenty of first touch ball for the Southport Sharks. We're not far away from a start here at Blacktown, round two of the NEAFL Premiership season. It's great to have you with us live here on NEAFL TV. The Swans in their red against the Sharks in their white, and we are underway. Thurlow wins it down. Keris gets a hand pass out. Tape outside. Southport going well. Here's Keel. Just dabs a kick off the side of the right boot. Out for Clements. Beautiful conditions here at Blacktown. Southport around that boundary line. It'll be worked out of play, and we'll have a ball in. Yeah, mentioning Southport's start last week, they were good against Sydney Uni. And unsurprisingly, they won the hit-outs 49-36 with big Fraser Thurlow well supported by Jed Turner. And this time Cameron wins the tap. Cunningham worked off it by Tape. Southport again going forwards but out of play. So we'll have a ball in early stages of this first term.
Bit of a slow start from the Swans. They were moving it nicely, the Sharks. So we're just going to have a ball in. Far side of the ground. Sunny side of Blacktown's International Sports Park. The ball goes in. Nicely tapped away by the Sharks. And it's just cleared by them. Nice kick down towards the midfield. Swans try to pick it up and clear it. Nice little kick across from Cameron. Ball in the middle of the field. So now the Sharks try to take it on the line. It's marked there nicely by the Sharks, but just over the top, so the play on is the call. And the Sharks just try to swing it, and the ball goes out of bounds just in front of that broadcast position. And it was the big fella and Adam McKenzie that saw the ball go over the boundary line.
Been all the Sharks early. They've looked good going forwards. Need to try and keep that going. Thurlow got a little nudge from Cameron, still won the tap. Here's Fisher, left foot kick into it, towards an open forward 50. Sam Murray will run onto it. If he can gather his away here, Murray. The ball just evades him on the bounce. Murray working his way around, left foot shot on goal from Sam Murray is away and out of bounds on the full. Open forward 50, working pretty well for the Swans, but Murray just let down by that finish.
Yeah, it looked impressive inside 50. Really should have gone on with it, but the first score of the game is a behind. So the Sharks will now clear it on the far side of the ground, and the ball has gone out of bounds. So good sized crowd here at Blacktown. It was really difficult to get a park earlier in the day, which is great signs at this level of footy. And it's a beautiful day in Sydney's West, so why wouldn't you be out and about and enjoying watching your favourite team run round?
Yeah, quite strong sunshine here at Blacktown as well, which might explain why most of those are enjoying the facilities here on our broadcast side. Pretty hot on that hill on the outer side. Nice
little shift across for the Swans. So that they now spread it through the midfield. Ball goes across field, and it's nicely marked just inside to Murray. Good kick inside 50, but it'll go towards the Sharks. Now it's picked up by the Swans. They try to clear it. Good work inside 50, good hustle. Ball comes loose, picked up by the Sharks, and now they'll try and clear it. And it's marked just outside 50. So the Swans, they swoop around. Nice little kick in field, going towards the goal, but it'll shift just to the right-hand side, and it'll be a behind. So the player on that occasion was the 48. And the play continues. So the Sharks, now they'll shift it across through the midfield, and it's nicely marked middle of the park. So looking strong here, the Sharks, just playing some simple football. They mark it on the far side of the ground, and it's just inside the 50. So a chance here now for first points. Good opportunity here, Will, for the Sharks to put on hopefully 6 points.
Yeah, tough kick from out there, but important to try and take advantage of some of this early ascendancy, because the Swans will be dangerous going forwards.
Moves in, just on the 50 line, comes towards goal, but it'll be marked beautifully on the line. So Cameron is the man that takes the mark, and it shifts across field. So the Swans now try and clear it outside their 50. Nice little sensible kick. It's marked there and played quickly through the midfield. So the Swans moving the football with some positivity. Nice little stuff there, just over the top of Pink's head. He tries to go for it. The Sharks go after it. Ball goes infield 50. And there's a bit of a tackle and a hustle over the line. And for the Swans, it was Towers that tried to get the football, and it'll be a ball up just inside 50.
Good spot for Sydney to set up. Cameron comes charging in. Uses the body well. Thurlow got the tap. Well done by the Swans. They've set up well here. Jack will have to sit under it. It's well read by Keel, and he breaks the tackle and streams away from centre half back. It's a really nice kick from Keel, and it's well taken by Fowler. Fowler for the Sharks just dinks it over the top. Nice run coming from Eriksson. Good courage. Eyes only for the ball. Goes outside. So Southport into their attacking 50. Well done from Mitch Johnson, but it's chopped off nicely by Maybaum. Swans did well to get that away. Out of defence through Towers. Now Fisher to Rose. Robertson was involved. Here's Rose taking on Rogers. Battle of the Blondes. Rogers up towards half forward. Mark should have been taken by Towers, and he'll lose the football. Gives away a free kick for taking the leg of Holland. Holland a short kick. Well marked by Doran, who transfers across to Keris. Keris calling players to provide an option for him. The man who's been involved quite a bit is Fowler. He's used the outer side of this ground quite a bit with no great reward so far. It's the Swans one behind to Southport, yet to score 5.5 played in the opening 10.
Seems to be pretty dry on the outer areas of the field, which is a little bit odd considering the amount of rain that we've had in the last week and a half in Sydney's west. But they've done a great job, the Blacktown ground staff, to get this ground ready for this clash as the ball is kicked clear and the Swans just try and watch it go down towards the boundary line. It's nicely fed across the back line there. Good work there down the boundary line for the Swans. But it's marked by the Sharks, and now they try and clear it. So a good kick across field, and now inside 50, pushed away. Swans now have the football. They're doing their best to get it out. Good work there. And brilliant work from Edwards, who has put him down in a tackle. And the ball will be played there just inside the centre square. It was Matt Doran, the man for the Sharks, and they'll kick it down towards the Swans' goal. So a nice little play towards the boundary line. Pink, nice high kick over the top. Finds one. Now goes to the Sharks. So Swans just not trying to, they're trying to get a bit too creative inside 50. They need to keep it a little bit simple with this sweeping attack from the Sharks. Sensible play now. Away they go now through Edwards. Mark was attempted by the Sharks but unsuccessful. Now inside 50, looking smart here. Ball's just evaded. Player on the far side. And now the Sharks will kick it just inside 50, but some sloppy work there. Holland now has the ball. He's wrapped up in a nice tackle inside 50.
Yeah, as the ball spills out, he was probably lucky there, and Boston goes over the top for Keel. The Sharks have done well. They've worked really hard at giving it back to Sydney. They still maintain possession. Firewood through the middle. Man free up towards half forward. This is good from the Sharks. The ball will go inside forward 50. The lead comes from Fowler. Can't take the mark, but second effort's good here. Fowler battling really hard against Melican. Goes to Laidler over the top. Now Darcy Cameron, composed from the Swans. Cameron's kick's not a great one. Thurlow. Can't say that he wouldn't have seen Fraser Thurlow, one of the tallest men on the ground. The Sharks have had plenty of it. Kerris, nice skills from him. Had a great game to start the season. 36 disposals and 12 tackles last week, and he sets it up. It's 3 against 1. Shepherd was at the front there. The Swans with numbers. Geez, have a hand pass in the face. Dylan Smith. It'll be marked by Eriksson. So the Swans on this occasion mucking about with it. Eriksson wheels around, just puts it towards the top of the square. Again, numbers with the Swans. Mitch Johnson for the Sharks looking for the football. Look at the number of Swans players. They are absolutely mauling the Sharks inside their own defensive 50, but because of the congestion, they're unable to get it out. The pressure from the Sharks is good. The Swans look like they want a boundary throw in. They are under the pump here. It's kept in. Tate puts it towards the goal square, and again, numbers with the Swans. Darcy Cameron has it just inside the boundary line. They look to get away with it.
Away they go, the Swans. Nice work from Rose. Nice little hand pass infield. So they now come up the middle. Swans looking for options. Kicks across, so not a bad looking kick from the 45 for the Swans. And they find themselves midfield. So it's some difficult work over there for Laidler. Tries to swing it back, keeping himself composed. Nice hand pass towards the middle of the ground. Towers now on the charge. He gives the ball in field. Good little pop up the pass. Over they go through Cameron. Nice pass over the top. They find themselves just across the field and just outside 50 and now inside 50, and the ball goes out of bounds. So it will be the 53 for the Swans in Sam Barkley that watches the ball go out of bounds. So a big opportunity now for the Swans to put some points on the board, some more points on the board. They currently lead by 1, just the behind. So nice little tassel there. And the Sharks, they try to have it there through Seb Tate. And there'll be a ball up inside 50, pushed away by the Sharks. Now they try and clear it. Holland tries to look for some support, gives the ball across field. Good work there from the Swans, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, nice from Melican. That's an interesting matchup between Lewis Melican, on his 3rd year with Sydney, and Hamish Shepherd, a former Waffle player, and on his first year on Southport's list. Well done by Thurlow. Rode well by Fisher, smothered. Now the Swans through Gowers. Just kicks it into the vicinity of Rose. It's 2 against 1. Rose battles well and just gets a boot to ball, which kept it at ground level. Pink is tackled and dispossessed. Southport, again, at a defensive 50. Ericsson was good. Boston's running in support, but look at the way they use this open space. Now they just need something inside forward 50. They need a big mark. They go towards Shepherd. He's well handled by Melick, and he was all over the back of him. Maybaum has the ball. Pressure comes. Maybaum got boot to ball, and again, the Swans with numbers at the drop of the ball. Towers to Cunningham. Takes on the line. Cunningham goes inside forward 50 with the kick. Pink is there. So too Kanash. Kanash, NEAFL debut, goes to Rose. Rose, oh, that's a terrible kick from James Rose. And again, Southport get away.
So the ball will eventually go out of bounds. Swans players...
deliberate. This is good for the Swans.
Calling a deliberate call there. So it'll be Rose on the far side that has the kick in field. Blue boots, blonde hair. So Rose on the boundary line. Darts away nicely. Little in and away. And he's been called back for it. So he tried to get around the 18 there on that occasion for the Sharks in Seb Rogers, but to no avail. So looks as though it'll be a boundary throw in just outside 50, but down towards the Swans end of proceedings. Good high ball comes in, cleared by the Swans. Some nice work here. Kicked across field. Comfortable mark taken, but the ball has come loose. Good work from the Sharks. Keel tries to clear it. Nice little pick up. And the Sharks just move it through the midfield. So this is impressive work from them. They've been playing like this so far in this game. Nice towering kick from the Sharks. The ball will be played just outside 50. They try to shift it around the Sharks. Nice kick back in field. And mark to be paid. So ball in field for the Sharks. Nicely taken by Laidler on the far side. And the change of possession will come. So some good work there from the Sharks. But I think it was the class of the Swans that really just put the brakes on that one, Will.
Yeah, great flight from Cameron, third man up. It's been a pretty tough start for both sides. Just the one behind. Pretty sloppy with disposal across the ground. No one able to take a decent mark inside attacking 50 and reward some of the decent play around the ground. The Swans leading one behind to Southport, yet to score. We're into the 14th minute of this opening term. It's round one of the 2017 NEAFL Premiership season. Cameron wins the tap from behind against Thurlow. Good kick from Ericsson, just bounces it up towards half forward. Gathered by Laidler, hurried kick. Asked plenty of questions. They'll be answered by Southport. Mark's taken unopposed by Egan. Egan is from Victoria and the Rye Footy Club. Goes laterally. Southport have had a huge amount of possession, and they did have much the same against Sydney Uni last week. Here's Crode. Now Rogers. Southport might do well just to take their time on this occasion and look for options. Rogers doesn't have any of them. Just loads up. Good fly from O'Riordan. Strong mark against Mitch Johnson. O'Riordan. What kind of 2017 will he string together? A great 2016 before injury ended at Cameron, front position. Good work from him. He's had a lively start here, Big Darcy Cameron. Hale School class of 2012. Cameron sends it inside forward 50. Good body work coming from Crowley for Southport, but Murray was able just to hang out the back and was the beneficiary of Crowley's body work come the finish. So Sam Murray, after he missed a shot, it was out of bounds on the full earlier, could kick the game's first goal. Almost 15 minutes, no goals.
He's got a chance here. Now he moves inside 50. Smart little kick. Nice ball in field.
Yeah, good eyes from Murray.
And now it is the 7 in Harry Cunningham that's right in front. So you would think that first points come here for the Swans.
Yeah, good from Murray. It was a pretty tough shot. Now Cunningham, who played the first two games of the AFL season before being omitted this week. Goals will help his case, no doubt. That's what I'd want him to be doing at NEAFL level. Here's Cunningham. Chance for the game's first. Cunningham puts it on its way, and thank heavens we have the first goal of this game. It's been a sloppy start across the board, but Cunningham makes no mistake from a pretty easy set shot. Sydney Swans 1-1-7. Southport yet to score. 15 and a half played.
You could see that goal coming from the Swans for a while there because they'd just shown a lot of class, especially in defence. There was a great mark taken from Mitch Johnson earlier in the piece. He went high, just looked really comfortable. It's that sort of class that Southport have really got to counteract here this afternoon. That'll probably be their biggest challenge. They're looking good in patches and areas, but once they get inside 50, they seem to lose their head about them a little bit, and they just go with some interesting options. So we go back to the middle, and umpire just making sure everything's right and players are where they need to be. So Thurul just watching intently as the ball is bounced. Nice little clear by the Swans. Picked up by the Sharks, but there's plenty of red and white jumpers there. But it's Keel that kicks it clear for the Sharks, and it finds some open space. Now they move just outside 50, the Sharks. They're looking pretty dangerous at the moment, but they need a clearance. And the ball has gone down, so it looks like a ball up will take place just outside 50.
Southport would hate to see the Swans get a couple more and run away with this first term. They've been competitive, the Sharks, without any reward whatsoever. Tape was good, kick was smothered, and the pressure from the Swans has been really impressive. They've always got numbers to the contest, and they've so far had all the answers to Southport. Out of their defensive half, they have Sydney. Jed Turner battling hard. Rose gets the clearing kick. Bit of a hit and hope. Keel only had one arm to start. He got the second free and takes a good mark against Murray. Keel's called to play on. He's off his mark, and Ericsson at left half forward. Huge number of Swans jumpers in front of Ericsson, and he just sets it up again. Look at this. Shepherd has 4 to beat. Falls to ground. Good work from Southport. Johnson off the ground. It's off target, and Gowers picks it up. Good work from Johnson. Gowers gets it back again. His kick as far as Rogers, who's tracking it back towards the middle.
And Rogers will have the football and kick it towards the middle. Good kick to Thurul, who finds himself in the middle. Nice strong kick inside 50, but plenty of jumpers. It's taken pretty comfortably by the Swans. They now will try and clear it. So a good kick across field. And it's now marked on that far side. So the Swans now just playing some patient football here. Nice little ball in field. And here comes Edwards. So a nice kick across field. Just goes over the top, but it's marked beautifully there. And the Swans will now try and move it through the midfield. Way over the top, punched away by Pink. Cleared away now. So the Sharks through Keel will kick it back. And Holland will have the ball back, and he'll kick it down towards the boundary line. For some bizarre reason, he kicked towards goal, and the ball's gone out of bounds. Very close to the Swans' goal. An interesting move there by the Sharks. The ball went to Brady Egan, and all Egan could do is just pick it up on the half volley and watch it go out of bounds. So a very strange move there from the Sharks. They probably should have cleared it.
Yeah, danger for sure. And the ball. There's calls for a free kick there. Gowers snaps it from 40. It's offline. And Keris can't take the mark, but he has time. Cunningham was putting pressure on him. It's out of defensive 50 with Doran. Neat little kick from Doran. Gets it back. Left foot kick up for Mutu. Broken up nicely by Murray. He's been really good to start this one. He's diving in. Maybaum hit hard by Boston. Again, the pressure around the foot is good, and the umpires will be called. 19 and a half played. Cunningham's first goal gives the Swans a 1-1-7 lead to Southport yet to score. No reward for decent industry from the Sharks early. They've struggled going forwards. The Swans have just dropped numbers back. Could this be their chance? Doesn't look like it. Nice from Sydney. There's Filewood for Southport. Keris's hand pass missed the target. Southport desperate to get their first goal. Just snapped again into the forward corridor. That's a good mark taken. Nice work from Mutu for Southport. That time they've had a set shot inside forward 50. Just blazed away into the attacking corridor time and time again so far. And Dylan Mutu this time with a good mark. Looking for goal number 1 for the Sharks.
So this will be vital if Mutu can put this through for the main score. He's just outside 50, far side of the ground. Moves in. Pretty calm, collected. Nice kick from Mutu towards the goal. The sound of the crowd will tell you the result of that, and it's a goal. So the Southport Sharks are on the board, and now the Swans margin is just 1, so 117 plays 106. Good kick there from Dylan Mutu. He's been one of the standouts in this opening term for the Sharks. And it looks like there's going to be a change here for the Sharks. Number 4, Blake Erickson makes his way onto the pitch. And it'll be Seb Tate that makes his way to the boundary line for a bit of a breather.
Tough old start to this one. Plenty of missed kicks and errant hand passes. The pressure has a lot to do with that. Players maybe just need to take a bit more time and try and be a touch more composed. Beautiful conditions. Dry, warm day. Cunningham gets the clearing kick. Can't be taken. He's just hesitating. Cameron with a good tackle. Scrappy stuff again. Forward 50. He's in trouble here. Tried to fend off, did Mackenzie. Give him benefit of the doubt. Had the ball pinned to him straight away. Swans 117. Southport 1 straight 6. 22 minutes played. Thurlow down for Keris. Moving with a good tackle. Mutu out for Boston. Nice work from the Sharks here. Johnson on his knees. Can't take the mark. O'Riordan with a good tackle. Ball spills out. Firewood going in for the Sharks. Boston lays a good tackle of his own. Cooper Lee was involved for the Swans. Cunningham outside. Swans in the middle with Gowers.
Away go the Swans through the midfield. Nice work through Towers. Tries to get away on one. Nice little kick down towards the inside 50. Bounces in open pasture. Good work from the Swans. Kick back in field. Good looking kick, and that is a smart goal from the Sydney Swans. It's Adam Kanash that scores the goal, and now it is 2-1-13, plays 106. The Swans, they extend their lead even further, but that was some really smart footy, and a great goal there to Adam Kanash, the 18-year-old, making his NEAFL debut, and what a start for the young fella.
Yeah, really good from him. Nice finish on the run. Seas parted, and I was saying earlier that Southport would struggle to look up at quarter time if the Swans got 2 or 3 ahead of them after their good start, but with finishing like that, it looks every bit a chance.
So back to the middle we go. So the Swans now, they lead by 7. It's been a really fascinating opening term, and we're about 23 and a half gone in this first term. We hope you're enjoying the coverage, the live streaming on neafl.com.au. The Sharks, they'll spread it through the midfield. Nice little ball to Thrarul. He's on his own in open space. Good looking kick. He's just not finding any Sharks jumpers. Laidler tries to clear it. Nice little hand pass back in field. Swans just trying to clear it. Now the Sharks have got a chance. Ball from Laidler. Good work from him. Nice hand pass across. They're moving it beautifully down through left back and across now into the midfield. So the ball comes in field. Swans having a nice little battle there with Rogers. Ball comes across to Keel. Now the Swans pick it up. And it's Cunningham that kicks downside, inside 50. Pink tried to pick it up. Nice little work here from the Swans. The goalies look like it's coming. Nice bend back around. But it'll be one behind for the Sydney Swans, so a disappointing finish there. It was the 33 there for the Swans in Brandon Jack, but it's just the 1 point, and the margin is now 8 points.
Yeah, it had highlight reel look written all over that for Brandon Jack as Thurlow uses every bit of his 100-plus kilo frame. Inside the Swans go. Here's Gowers under a little bit of pressure. He's dispossessed. A really good tackle from Chadwick, and he wins the free kick. Chadwick transfers across defensive 50. So the Sharks through Clements. Was it Firewood? Good mark taken. Doran looking for an option. Goes short again. Sharks trailing by 8. Late-ish here in this first term. Lost against Sydney Uni in round 1, the Sharks. The Swans had a loss away against Brisbane here at Blacktown International Sports Park, as Keris takes the mark for Southport and works it out to Mackenzie. The Swans Match against Brisbane was moved to Blacktown due to all of the rain up in Queensland last week. The week before last, rather. We're with Boston, and that'll do us for the first term. A pretty short opening quarter due to the lack of goals being kicked. It's a pretty tough start, but definitely stay with us here on NEAFL TV, because I reckon it can only get better in the second and third terms as both of these sides work their way into proceedings. At quarter time, it's the Swans 2-2-14, Southport 1 straight 6. We'll take a short break and be right back with the second term. Well, welcome back. We're not far away from the start of the second term in this NEAFL Round 2 match between the Sydney Swans and Southport Sharks. Didn't reach any great heights in the opening term, John O'Farr. The Swans lead 2-2-14 to Southport 1 straight 6. Pretty sloppy with a few of the disposals across the ground. Southport are being held a long time by coach Nathan Bock, and they were certainly in it early. And the scoreline's probably fair in terms of the way Sydney did repel a lot of Southport's attack.
Yeah, the Swans just looked impressive in parts, but they just couldn't seem to go on with it. The Brandon Jack attempt at goal early in that, late in that first term, I should say, was a good example of that, where they just make that burst, and they just can't quite get that completion there. For the Southport Sharks, I just think they need to just get a couple of goals under their belt, very similar to what we saw last week from the Gold Coast Suns, where they just get that burst of confidence. And once they can do that, then they can really turn some points on. Perfect conditions here. The wind is minimal here at Blacktown, so real no excuses there in terms of the weather for affecting their performance here. But I just think they've got plenty of ability and plenty of talent. They can spread it nicely, but if they can just get a couple of goals early in this second term, that might just shift the lead.
Nathan Box had his say, so Southport are allowed to take their positions on the field. He's still pretty solidly stuck into some conversation as he walks towards the grandstand here. Mitch Johnson is getting it from a couple of coaches, just working things out, one of their important forward targets. Hamish Shepherd in that first quarter was left to do it all on his own. The Swans just dropped numbers back, and at times it was 4 against 1. Jed Turner goes down to full forward to lend a hand to Shepherd to start this second term. Thurlow in the ruck against Darcy Cameron to get us going. John O'Farr.
Okay, away we go. So second term underway. Big one needed from the Southport Sharks. And it's an unorthodox start, so we'll take 2. So good conditions here this afternoon here at Blacktown. Nice little push away from Thurul. Now the Swans try and clear it. And it's taken nicely there by the Swans. But it will be a ball up just in the middle of the field. There was some good work there from the number 10 for the Swans, and now the ball is shifted across field. So the ball up has taken place. Nice little kick across from Keel. Ball tried to clear out, slipped out the back. The Swans try to clear it. Nice little mark there, just outside 50. So good kick infield to the Swans, and very simple, easy mark to Rose, who is just inside the 50. And he would have this very simple kick right in front. So a great start for the Swans, Will.
Yeah, really good start. I don't know if you could see on your screen there, Sean Edwards coming from the ground. He looks like he's dislocated his right pinky. So he's coming off to get a bit of treatment on that. We hope he's all right as Rose is ready.
So Rose moves in, strikes it pretty cleanly. And a clean pair of heels sees the opening goal of the second term. Swans start in the best possible fashion. They kick their third goal of this game, first goal of the second term. And now it is 3-2-20 to 1-0-6. So we're about 90 seconds into this second term, Will.
Yeah, good start from the Swans, and that would cause Southport a few nervous looks at each other. Marks inside attacking 50 in the first term would have put the Swans a lot further in front, and if they can string it all together here in the second, Southport could be left behind. So they're going to get the bulk of the ruck work and first use of the ball potentially through Thurlow. They just need to try and clear it out of that centre area. The Swans' pressure will be great all day. Got some strong experience in the middle. Sam Fisher right there against Ericsson. Fisher just works Ericsson out of it. The Swans, here's Leonardis, just clears it up towards forward 50. Murray sat underneath it, well done from Southport. Fraser Thurlow has to go get it from his boot laces. Cameron moving really well. Back for Fisher, now Brandon Jack. Goes for Towers, had 11 disposals in the opening term. Here's number 12, gets it back from Laidler. Here's 13 for Towers. It's a decent kick for Toby Pink. Crode was good for Southport, it was an important punch. Gets it back from Boston, throws it on the boot. Southport going nicely here. They're looking to set up. Wheel around. Nice from Shepherd. 2 hands out in front. Really strong mark from Hamish Shepherd. He has an option that he likes short and goes sideways to Firewood. No, not Firewood, rather. It's Doran. So nice from Southport on the counter, and Doran with a really important kick.
So Doran now just outside 50. They'll need this one to swing back. It'll be interesting to see if he has a crack here at goal, because there's not too many Southport jumpers inside 50. They've made a shift, and that is a disappointing kick from the Sharks in the end. It was Nick Crowley that took the ball. He's kicked it in field, and the ball will just dribble through for a behind. So they move to 7 points. So 1-1-7 plays 3-2-20. And the Swans will clear it just down the boundary line towards Rose, who has the ball now on the boundary line. Just looks for the red and white options. Kicks it towards the midfield. Nicely taken there by Towers. Now it's kicked across from Cunningham. Cunningham kicks down towards the 50. Nice little ball from Fisher. Tries to get the ball clear, but it's cleared out there by the Sharks. And they will now try and move it outside 50. Nice kick. Down towards the midfield. Good opportunity. Laidler, he picks up the crumbs. Tries to swing it back. What can Laidler do here? Nice impressive kick down towards Rose. Rose tries to get it over the top of his head. Ball beautiful back inside. Nice kick in field to the Swans. Does it have the legs? No, it doesn't. And I think, has he paid the mark? He certainly has. So there will be an opportunity here for the Swans through Toby Pink. He's left-hand side of the post, inside 50. You'd think Willie to score from here.
Yeah, you'd certainly hope so. And after the Sharks made a mess of it down the other end, Shepherd potentially could have gone back and had a shot from 55, dishes it off, and then only get the one behind. This is a big kick.
So in goes Pink. Moves in, just one defender in front. And has he kicked it? He certainly has. I thought he sprayed it there to the left for the moment, but Toby Pink scores the goal. 4-2-26, plays 1-1-7. The Swans now really starting to stamp their authority on this game. It was only 14-6 at quarter time, and they have scored 10 points to 1 in this second term, Will.
Yeah, really good start from the Swans, and they're taking advantage of those opportunities inside and around forward 50. Towers has had a strong start to this second term. A couple of quick possessions. He was the leading disposal winner on the ground in the opening term. He had 11. So too did Jordan Kerris from the Sharks. 8 disposals. 8 disposals for Keel and Clements. Gowers the top up for the Swans with 9. Sam Fisher with 9 as well. Back to the centre we go. It's Cameron in the ruck. Up against Jed Turner. Spent a season in Sydney a few years ago with Sydney Uni. Wins it down. Good to see Edwards back on after receiving treatment for a finger injury. Ball bouncing around. Geez, Turner had the elbow poised for Cunningham. Now Leonardis goes in to get it out. Nice speed from Leonardis. Puts it on the left boot. Pink will lead hard for this one. Takes a good mark, Toby Pink. Swans rookie sends it towards Murray. Gets a couple of bites at it. And take the mark. Towers tries to evade the tackle. Gets the hand pass out. Edwards at centre half forward. Wheels around. The kick goes just about as high as it does long. Sprayed it off the side of the boot, did Edwards. Goes through the hands of Crowley. So the Swans still a chance. Crowley dragged a man off and Boston gets it out. Only as far as Cameron at centre half forward. Gets the hand pass for Laidler. Not a noted goal kicker. It just goes short for Edwards. Nice work from the Swans. Well done from Laidler. Just to lift the eyes and fight Edwards all on his own. And the mark will stand 40 metres out directly in front. These are the shots you want players of Edwards' experience to be kicking. A former Giants AFL player. Played 24 games with them. So no stranger to the NEAFL. Also had time on Essendon's list. So here's Edwards. A big kick in the scheme of this second term. Swans have been right on top early in the second. Edwards kicks from 47. It's a good strike, but it's away to the left and out of bounds on the full. That's a miss for the Swans and a let-off for the Sharks.
Yeah, disappointing result there from the Swans. They wouldn't be too happy with that result, but it was good patience footy from Lader in the middle that set that up for Edwards. As the Sharks now, they try and clear the ball out of the inside 50, and it's taken up nicely and kicked down towards the boundary line. Rule tries to go high. They shift it across field. Now Holland battles there. Nice battle with the Swans. They have the football, but it's some class football from the Swans that sees it clear. And they'll play it just in front of this broadcast position. And it'll be kicked downfield. So nice kick towards Pink. Pink tries to take the mark. Can't quite handle it, but good hands from Pink. Controls it beautifully. And he'll swing it back, and a nice kick down towards Rose, and now it is moved through Keel. And across they move down the boundary line, the Sharks. So a nice kick down towards the middle, just in front of our position here. Good work there from Cameron, who tried to clear it. The Swans pick it up. Now the ball is taken out there by Smith. Ball comes in field, so good work from the Swans. They're just getting so much space when they get the football. Rogers tried to get it for the Sharks, couldn't quite get it. Came off the boot. Impressive footy from the Swans, but they just couldn't capitalise on the advantages they had.
And Rogers, winning the free kick, goes to Boston. Hand pass over the top. It's with Keel. It's good in the first term. Hand pass to the safety of Boston. Does a pirouette. Outside, nice from Edwards, getting involved. Now dives into the back of Holland. Nothing doing though. Laidler for the Swans. Left foot kick into a fairly open forward 50. It'll bounce towards the boundary line. Numbers here with Sydney. Tracking it towards goal. Nice tackle from Rogers. Here's James Rose. He's dangerous from there. And he kicks his second of the afternoon. It's looking ominous for Southport, and the Swans have their fifth. Nice work from Rose. Swans 5-2-32. Southport 1-1-7.
Yeah, clinical footy here from the red and the whites. Great work there from Toby Pink in coverage. It allowed the goal there to come for Rose, his second of the game. Now the margin, it's getting quite ominous, as Will said, for the Sharks. So 5-2-32 plays 1-1-7, and we're only 9 minutes into this second term. So the Sharks, they just really need some goals, really need some points, and really need to just play some confidence footy to give themselves a chance of getting back in this one. I think they really need to boost their own confidence to really be competitive with the Swans here.
Yeah, and the Swans' defensive structure's been really good. We saw before Boston out on that outer side, not really having anywhere to go. They're just looking up and seeing red jumpers everywhere.
Ball is cleared from the middle. Good work there from Cameron. Good kick downfield towards the Swans inside 50. Plenty of red and white jumpers, but it's the Sharks that have it. Now it goes from Crode. Good work from Keel. He'll try and kick it down the boundary line. Ball goes over the top of the head. And Laidler just passes it onto Rose, the last scorer. Rose kicks it downfield. Nice pick up there by the Swans. Now the Sharks just trying to play some patience footy, but they really need to play some confidence footy. And the ball has gone to Seb Tate. Only player with a last name that rhymes with his number, which makes it easy for a commentator. But it's a poor kick from Seb Tate, and it's down there for the Swans. So they will kick it across field and just inside the midfield. Towers tried to get the ball, but it's Cunningham that has the ball kicked across the field. And the ball comes to the Sharks. So here they go. They look impressive here, just inside 50. Will it dribble towards the goal? It certainly will. A terrific goal there from the Southport Sharks. Brilliant stuff. And it was the number 7 for the Sharks in James Holland that scored that unorthodox goal. And it's reduced the margin, and it's given them the confidence they needed to get back in this contest.
Very important goal, that one. And they just need to do a bit more of that, take the game on, and when they've got an opportunity in or around forward 50, just take it. Not necessarily blaze away like Holland did there, but he saw the open goal square. There was nothing to go to, and he just backed himself with the bounce to take that 60 metres between him and the goal. And yeah, very important. Trims it to 19.
But that sort of footy can really be a difference maker for a side. When it's that confidence, when it's that strong, that can really shift a game. And if a team like the Swans are just clocking off a little bit because they've looked at the scoreboard and are in front by plenty, well, that can be a difference maker. But they've got to keep going, the Sharks.
Yeah, big stuff for Southport. Can they get a couple in a row? Tate, a really nice left foot kick into forward 50. Can't take the mark. Fowler was under a fair bit of pressure. We see numbers with the Swans. It'll trickle out of play. Fowler unhappy with himself. Would have been a wonderful opportunity to get a couple in a row. The Swans will set up with numbers around the footy as they've done all game. Southport need to find a way through. Cameron on the back. Turner got it down. Tate, another decent kick inside forward 50. It'll bounce towards the goal. Shepherd got a touch on it, and it'll go through for just the minor score. Southport showing a little bit more promise of late.
So the margin now is 18 points. And the Sharks, they're playing better footy, but they just need to start turning some of those plays into bigger points, into goals. So the Swans, they'll try and clear it outside 50. Nice little kick in field. And the mark will be played just inside 50, but now it's certainly cleared pretty away. So Towers tried to get it. Crowed on the charge here for the Sharks. He's just inside 50. A poor kick, a rainbow-style kick from Crowed, and it'll find the Swans just inside 50. Plenty of jumpers to clear it. Calm footy will see clear it, but it's nicely smothered there by the Sharks, and the point will go through. So the Swans now try and clear it just inside 50. A little bit more confidence here in the Sharks in this last couple of moments, Will.
Yeah, and Shepherd's been good, getting involved and putting himself in positions where he can influence the play. They need a lot from him. They demand a lot from him. Only in his second game for Southport, one of their recruits. We're with Towers. Southport without Jack Anthony. We saw a nasty incident where he left the field in one of Southport's games. At 2/3 of the way through last season on a stretcher, the game was subsequently abandoned. And although on their list, I haven't seen much of Jack Anthony since then. The Swans in control here against Southport. They lead 32 to the Sharks 15. 14 and a half minutes played. The Swans open forward 50. Won't get anywhere near it. It's a good mark for Southport. McKenzie worked around under a bit of pressure. This is dangerous for the Sharks, but they'll win the free kick. Murray, a little bit too enthusiastic, got into the back of Egan. Egan goes all the way back to the safety of Crowley. Crowley has Crowed leading hard. Rose is there with him. Crowley has the length of the field. Try and get them going. Decent kick from Crowley, had a little bit too much on it. Mutu couldn't take the mark. Good from the Swans. Brandon Jack just outside 50, calls players to lead to him, and he goes towards the pocket. Gowers and Cunningham. Gowers, free kick perhaps for over the shoulder. Nothing doing. We'll have a ball in the forward pocket for the Swans. They lead by 17, 15 played.
So a big opportunity now for the Swans to extend their lead. It'll be a ball up just inside the forward left pocket. Pushed away, nicely cleared. Sharks really need to clear it. Mutu, nice kick. Down towards the middle of the field. Rogers tries to go high, picks it up, clears it now. Away go the Sharks. So a nice towering kick over the top. They come across through Holland. Holland's in the middle of the field. And he'll kick long down towards the goal. It's tried to be picked up there, but the Swans will try and clear it. Some dangerous work, but some brilliant cover work there from the Swans. Looking really classy. Any other side, that's confidence footy, and Rose will take a smart mark just outside 50. So they'll now look for opportunities. That was really classy inside 50 from the Swans. Went through plenty of hands, but Rose has cleared it. They've somehow, for some reason, gone back inside 50. And a few opportunities down the left-hand flank, but they haven't taken them, and now they'll go on the far side of the field. So a chance now for the Swans. They'll just clear it. Ball goes over the top. Brandon Jack now has the football in his hand, and he's on the march. So Jack moving nicely. Good kick. Little chip kick over the top. Tried to find some opponents. Ball goes to Towers. Cleared across the ground. Socket. Moved beautifully from Rogers for the Sharks. And now it's cleared. And, well, some desperation footy, but they've cleared it and kicked it out of bounds, Will.
Yeah, the great pressure from the Swans in defensive 50. Oh, well, making it a defensive area when they're trying to lock the ball in, rather. And it's with the top up and Dylan Smith. Smith just sends it towards the corridor. Didn't have enough on it, and the mark is taken by Tapey. Moves it quickly and goes to the far side. Holland is leading hard for him. Takes the mark with Stapleton pursuing. Not a great kick, and it's broken up by the Swans. Melican comes inside for Maybaum. And the Swans knocking about with it a little bit. Round the corner for Talia. Talia by hands, they're in trouble here. Smith. And Doran coming on, nice from Irving. The Swans knocking about with it. Either side taking full control of this game, and the Swans turn it over. Tape by hand. Outside for Doran. Doran down the line. Mitch Johnson gets two hands to it. Nice work defensively for the Swans coming from one of their top-ups, Cooper Lee. NEAFL debut last week and looking pretty comfortable in round 2.
So the ball will be thrown in bounds just in front of our broadcast position. So no chance of rain here this afternoon at the moment at Blacktown International Sports Park. Ball is cleared from the Swans. Nice little hand pass across. Tried to get it in there. Real push in the back. It looks as though from that position. But the ball has gone to the Swans and they will kick it across field. So now they try and find some space through the midfield. And it's kicked into open pasture. Picked up across. Cunningham through the middle. Cunningham, nice little low trajectory kick. And it finds his teammate just inside 50. So a chance now for the Swans. And it will be Toby Pink.
He's been good, hasn't he? Presented well, a couple of decent clunks.
Had an earlier goal earlier in this term from left forward pocket. This one on the right side and now outside 50. So a big challenge for Pink. Moves inside 50. Strikes it pretty nicely going towards the post. And it is a goal for the youngster. So a great goal there to Toby Pink for the Swans. Just 20 years of age, 19 years of age, I should say. And a bright future in front of him. So 6'2", 38, plays 2'3", 15. And we're almost 20 minutes gone in this second term.
It has lifted a gear from the first. It was a pretty tough old contest in that first 26 or so minutes. The Swans led 14 to the Sharks 6. And nice work here in the second from the Swans. They've taken the most of their opportunities, and the Sharks, well, again, they've had a few moments around forward 50. They've struggled to break down that Swans defensive pressure. Plenty of experience back there. Jeremy Laidler just commanding the defence, and it's a new look Swans defence in the NEAFL this year without Nick Newman, who was outstanding last year, but has taken his opportunity at AFL level. Was great last night, Nick Newman. And it's good to see these AFL listed players honing their craft in the NEAFL, enjoying the leadership of coaches such as Reece Shaw, and then working their way onto that AFL stage. Thurlow just works Stapleton out of it. Jack's hand pass was ineffective. Good pressure from the Swans, but Southport are matching them. Ericsson spun around in a tackle, spills out for Kerris. Southport now looking to go forwards. Here comes Shepherd on the lead. Great from Melican. Clements just toes it up towards Big Jed Turner. Overran it, Talia to Laidler. Hand pass out for Melican. Composed, assured, and experienced from the Swans. Here's Irving. Boston pressured him. Jack. Now Irving again, running hard. Has to have a second bite at it. Was tackled by McKenzie. This is good from Southport. They won't be denied, but the Swans persist. Stapleton to Jack. They keep running forwards, the Swans. The kick goes inside the corridor of the attacking 50. And was it a mark? Couple of bites at it. Rose just paddles it towards the open goal. Rose has too much time and he snaps over his shoulder. It's touched. Rose is always dangerous inside that attacking area. A touch ball. Sharks get away with one.
Must have been touched just as it left the boot from Rose, because it certainly had enough height on it. But some great work there from Stapleton and Jack down that left flank that really opened it up and created the opportunity for the Swans. But they get 1 point, so their margin gets even bigger. An even bigger challenge for Southport as they move it, try and get it outside their 50. And now down the right flank, picked up on the half volley, tried to soccer it off the ground. Nice little kick down towards, but the Swans have got numbers as always. And it's the kick downfield that will see them. And the mark is taken on that far side. Cameron tries to kick across field, and it's taken high. Classy mark there from the Swans. And it will be the 46 in Sam Murray. That's right in front of the posts. He took the mark about 40 metres shy of the posts. And he'll give himself a bit more room just to see if this one can count. So 6'3", 39 plays 2'3", 15. We're in the shadows of half time. And it's Murray. Moves in. Strikes it pretty nicely. Well, never looked like missing from the time it left the boot. Great goal there to Sam Murray. And the 20-year-old kicks the Swans clear And the margin now 30 points, 7-3-45, 2-3-15. The Swans by 30, as I said, over the Southport Sharks.
Not looking good for the Sharks at the moment, is it? The Swans able to get a couple of marks inside attacking 50 and convert. Toby Pink's been good. James Rose has been lively when the ball hits the deck and always looking to sniff out a goal. And then Murray's popping up too. Watched the Swans in a pre-season game against the Giants out at Tom Wills Oval. And Reece Shaw was really impressed with what he saw from Sam Murray. He did spend a lot of time as a top-up with the Giants. He's a Giants Academy player that they let go. And the Swans took him in the rookie draft. And Reece Shaw really liked what he showed him during the pre-season. Plenty to like from what we've seen today. Here's Kerris with the clearing kick. Laidler, too strong. Makes the mark and goes outside for Brandon Jack. He'll run this hard all day long. Jack, left foot kick looking for Leonardis. Good strong hands out in front of Doran. Leonardis to Gowers, one of these really impressive young top-ups for the Swans. Puts it on the boot in towards the attacking corridor. Southport are wise to that at the moment, but Towers gets it away and the Swans are running away with this one early in the game. Nice work from Sam Murray. We were just singing his praises. Or it's Sam Fisher rather this time around. And Fisher with his first goal of the game.
Yeah, really impressive footy from the Swans there. It moved through half a dozen hands. Great work there from Laidler and Jack, who really set it up the goal. They were just in midfield. Kicked it towards inside 50. Nice little passing back in field. And then Fisher, the man to finish it. So they've just gone over the 50 points. Wow, it's really looking like a bigger hill to climb for the Sharks. And an opportunity here now for the Swans to really just put the foot on the accelerator. So Brandon Jack playing some brilliant football. Of course, the son of Gary, the fullback of the Balmain Tigers in rugby league. And of course, older brother Kieran has been starring for a number of years in the seniors for the Swans. So a very talented football family. The Jacks, ball comes cleared for the Swans. Plenty of space and some options to come up with. Rose, nice little rainbow pass over the top. He comes up with it again. Ball is cleared by Crode for the Sharks. And Crode puts it just a kick over the top. And the ball will go out of bounds. So the ball was cleared there by the 27 for the Sharks.
And I must just apologise, John, for getting Murray and Fisher confused a few moments ago, getting them mixed up. Sam Fisher, the second of those goal scorers, the former academy player with the Giants.
Easy mistake to make with so many similarities as Cunningham kicks it across field. Very difficult to learn 44 names, but we'll do our best. And the ball comes across now for the Swans. They kick it inside 50. Good opportunity and a smart mark taken over there by Pink. He's been impressive this afternoon. And he looks as though he's setting himself up for another goal here for the Sydney Swans and his account in 2017 in the NEAFL season.
Yeah, a lot to like about Toby Pink's start to this game. Bit of a cult hero in the making for the Swans, and he was at junior level as well.
Moves inside 50, looks composed as he takes the shot on goal. Nice kick towards goal, but it'll spray across to the left-hand side. It was marked there just on the far side by Cameron. And now the Swans have an opportunity just inside the left flank. And now the player with the football, he's the 33 in Jack. So he now has a chance. Opposite side of the field. He's outside 50. Mark was taken just inside. But now he has a chance to put on some points here for the Swans. So the kick sprayed far left from Toby Pink. Can Jack put it through the big sticks? Moves in, strikes it nicely, but this time he swings it to the right-hand side and it'll go through for a behind. So 8-4-52 plays 2-3-15. Half-time can't be too far away in that siren. And the Sharks, well, it'll be an interesting chat at half-time because they haven't scored too many points in this second term. It was only 14-6 at quarter-time. Yeah,
Nathan Bock held them a long time at quarter-time. They might be hoping this quarter goes a little bit longer, just to stay away from him for a few more minutes and try and find a couple of answering goals. Here's Jed Turner. He's in trouble. Cunningham had a fair piece of his jumper. Hand pass came out for Regan. The Sharks through Boston. Not a great kick, and it's broken up nicely. Swans with Jack. Short for Talia. Talia short, Cunningham. Sliding up across half back. Cunningham Goes to that far side. It's with O'Riordan. O'Riordan short, and the mark was taken by Dylan Smith. And that'll do us for the opening half. The Swans, they've been the better side, but Southport hung in there in the opening term, failed to take their opportunities, and the Swans have run away with it in the second. Half-time, as we mentioned, John O'Farrell, will be an interesting period for the Sharks inside the rooms with Nathan Bock having a bit of a stern talking to them. The Swans, if they can keep going with what we saw in that second term, they're likely to run away with it in the third. That's all ahead of us, and stay with us here on NEAFL TV. At half-time, the Swans 8-4-52, Southport 2-3-15. Well, welcome back to NEAFL TV. The third term is ahead of us here in this round 2 premiership match between Sydney Swans and Southport Sharks. It's the Swans 8-4-52, leading Southport 2-3-15 after the Swans led 14-6 at quarter time. John O'Farr, really was the Swans dominating that second term.
Yeah, that second term was almost like a training run for the Swans. You know, it was 14-6 at quarter time and then 52-15. At half time. So real training run for the Swans. Southport, they just need to score points and fast. Let's see what they can do in this third term.
Thurlow in the 25 up against Darcy Cameron for the Swans. Thurlow out of position. Cameron wins it down. Cunningham wrapped up by Kerris. Who's one of the more impressive performers for Southport. He started well. Had a great debut season for Southport last year. Runner-up in their best and fairest. And a standing tackle. Kerris wrapped up by Cunningham and Cameron. Thurlow lurking. And we'll have another ball up.
Ball goes in, cleared by Cameron. Tried to get away. Now the Swans have it through the midfield. Nice kick down towards inside 50. Good pass back inside. They move sharply. Looks like the first goal is coming for the Sydney Swans. A remarkable passage of football. There wasn't really much in it. And it's Cunningham that scores the goal. So we were just saying, or I was just saying at the start of the third term that it was a training run and Southport needed to score some points. Well, the Swans, they've shown their class, and as this game progresses, they just seem to be getting better and better and better. 9-4-58 plays 2-3-15, and we're barely into a minute of this third term.
Yeah, that's the worst thing for Southport to start this third term. Nathan Bock, I'm sure, gave them a bit of a rev up at half-time. We saw him holding them for a long, long period at quarter time. He was very animated in his instructions, really trying to will them on. And that's disappointing to see for him, the way that they've started the second half, just conceding a pretty good goal from Cunningham on the run.
So the ball back to the middle, spread across. Cameron tries to get in there, and now the Sharks. They kick it downfield, and they take an impressive mark just inside the centre square. Kick inside 50, so looking promising, but too many numbers for the Swans. And they shift it across the boundary line. And down it comes towards our broadcast position. Nice little push in the back. Brandon Jack through the middle. Nice work from Stapleton. Kick downfield. Rose is on his own. Waits for the ball to bounce. Going after it. Needs a bounce to pop up. Rose turns around smartly. Rainbow kick round the corner. But can't quite commit. And that's an unfortunate result in what was a really impressive passage of play from the Swans. And they just add 1 point to the score. 9-5-59 plays 2-3-15.
James Rose, he won't miss too many of those as Boston goes to himself a ranking right foot kick marked by Thurlow at right half back for the Sharks. Thurlow, no options really at all, so just loads up and goes with plenty of distance. The Swans are queuing up. Laidler takes a good mark in front of Cooper Lee. Laidler might have a word to him, the top up in Lee, and say, those balls are mine if you don't mind. Rose flies, takes a good mark on top of Thurlow. James Rose is involved in a lot at the moment. Now just sets it up towards Pink in the pocket. Lovely from Rose. Pink just sends it towards the corridor. Didn't back himself from there, and Mackenzie cleans up for the Sharks. Toby Pink probably should have backed himself to try and put it on goal. That's what he's down there to do. Thurlow again at right half back this time. He's able to spot up a target. The Sharks still devoid of a great option. It's over the head of Kerris. Here is Fisher to Pink. A long way from home now, Pink. Going short, it's through the hands of Robertson. Swans centre half forward. Towers, Pink. Right foot snap. Sam Murray, 2 against 1. 2 against 3. 1 against 3 rather. Murray up against the 3. Here's Gowers in support for Murray. Murray hard up against the boundary line. The kick's not a great one. Southport with numbers.
Crode tries to clear it for Southport. Oh, beautiful tackle over the top there from Edwards. Had a bit of a trouble with one of his fingers, a dislocation earlier in the game, but he seems okay at the moment, which is a good sign. Did that quite early in the game. So just outside the 50, Cameron tried to have the football in his hands. Gives it to Cunningham. Nice clearing kick from him towards inside 50. Pushed away from Pink. Rose is clear. Should be able to score from there. And it's a goal to the Sydney Swans. Rose and pink combining beautifully. And the margin getting further and further away from the Southport Sharks. 10-5, 65, plays 2-3, 15. And we're not even 5 played in this third term. So the Swans really running away with it. Some changes there for the Sydney Swans. Adam Kanash, who scored a goal earlier in the piece, he comes onto the field. And the 53 for the Sydney Swans in Sam Barkley. He'll make his way onto the field. And Stapleton, he comes onto the field as well. So a couple of changes there for the Swans. Jack will take a rest. And the number 21 for the Swans, in Jack Maybaum, he'll come to the boundary line for a rest as well. So a couple of changes for the Swans. It'll be interesting to see how they pay off.
50-point margin for the Swans. Southport needs something fast. Kerris, often the man to spark them. Kerris outside for Ericsson. The Sharks blaze away over the head of Clements. It's not difficult to do. He's one of the smallest men in the competition. Out of side, Keel looking for a target. Swans just looked far too good for Southport here today. Egan, after dropping the mark, battled hard. Southport mucking about with it. Kerris outside. Tape dispossessed. The Swans now, a few fumbles. Robertson gets the kick away. Thurlow just throws it on that giant right boot. Hamish Shepherd again has 3 to beat. The Swans are just dropping numbers back. The shot comes now for Southport. It's been a long time between drinks for the Sharks in terms of goals scored. Finally, they have their third of the afternoon. Fowler with the goal. Southport, well, they needed something. The margin back to 44.
Yeah, they needed something, and they've got it pretty nicely there through Fowler. They played nicely down that boundary line. Good work inside 50, and it was a strong kick from the Sharks. They really need to string it together now if they're going to have any chance of pegging back this margin. There's still a quarter and a bit to go, but, geez, wow, they're really going to have to kick probably about 6 or 7 in concession and get them quickly. So we go back to the middle. Ball goes up. Cameron tries to clear it for the Swans. Pushed away. And Sean Edwards was involved in there. So a nice little kick from the Sharks. So they're growing a little bit of confidence. And just as I've said that, they've kicked it to the opposition. So the ball comes downfield. Nicely taken there by the Swans. They'll move it through Barkley. Barkley will now, there seems to be a penalty given.
That'll put him in range too, you'd hope, for Barkley.
So Barkley will now move just inside 50 and have this opportunity. Will he go for the big torp? It looks as though he's going to have a crack. So Sam Barkley, impressive young footballer. He's had a bit of game time here this afternoon in red and white colours. He moves in, inside 50 now. Strikes it pretty nicely off the left boot. And it just smacks against the left post. So, disappointing result there for the Swans and Barkley. And the Sharks, they'll try and clear it off their own goal line.
Well, let off for the Sharks. Again, they favour that outer side of the ground. Doran, or Egan rather, able to take the mark. Here's Clements. Slips one tackle, gets the hand pass to Keel. Good Shepherd from Holland, and Keel over the top. Crowley, no, Shepherd. A long way from home, Hamish Shepherd. He said, if you can't get it to me, I'll come and find it myself. Keel, right foot kick. Up and inside forward 50 again. No one home for Southport. Maybaum get involved if they're listed as those top-ups by the NEAFL clubs. And it's these young 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds for the Swans who have been really, really impressive to start this third term. Stapleton, the goal kicker. Kanash has been good. Barkley's had a fair bit of it. Robertson, too, has been involved. And if they can chime in, it's going to get ugly for the Sharks.
Yeah, I saw a trial game about 3 weeks ago, Swans and Sydney Uni here at Blacktown, and Dean Towers was really impressive in that performance. He seems to be a fraction quiet this afternoon as Southport move it just outside 50. Nice kick down towards the goal square, but it is socketed off the ground. Tried to kick it clear, and now the Swans now move it across. And the ball will come down the boundary line. So they kick it down towards our broadcast position. Rose is there just in front. He's on the charge now. It's picked up now by Barkley. Barkley on the one bounce. Kicks towards open pasture, but he's trying to find a man over the top. But it's marked there by the Southport Sharks, and they will run it across an inside 50 to the far side of the ground. And the mark is taken right on the far side of the ground. So an opportunity now for the Sharks. Wow, they're playing the style of footy that you'd think they'd be leading by 50. But for some reason, they're just kicking to each other, and it seems like they're going through the training run, which is a very interesting move, considering the margin, 50 points. Sharks just kick it towards, and Thurul has the football now inside the midfield, kicks it down towards, and move it nicely. Good ball inside field and moves to 50, but there's plenty of Swans jumpers in the... Good chance here for the Sharks. Nice little turnaround goal from Holland, but it'll go just to the right-hand side. And the 1 point is there. So 11-6-72 plays 3-4-22.
Yeah, Shepherd stayed down a long while. He's back up, so maybe just winded. It's good to see him continue. Meantime, the Swans... Murray for Fisher. Fisher almost ran himself into trouble. Hand pass comes over the top from Dylan Smith. Smith gets it from Jack. Has Rose calling for the football. Stapleton lending a hand. Hasn't he been good in this third term? Young Joe Stapleton. NEAFL game number 2 after his debut last week. There's a 2-against-1 the way of the Sharks. And Boston goes short for Crode. He also made his NEAFL debut last weekend, did Crode. Former Palm Beach ruckman in the QAFL. Goes to Boston. Flashy boots and a flashy player, one of their best, Boston. Holland, right half back. Up for Fowler. Just keeps it in. Works it around that boundary line. Clements gets one bite to it. Keeps his feet though, Clements. Takes a bounce. Now looking for that option. Into forward 50. Bounces off the chest of Egan. The Sharks. Clements again. Looking for that elusive mark inside attacking 50. Keel does well. Really good strength from Keel. Is this the mark they need? It finally is. Doran takes the mark and he goes short to Mutu. Slightly better position. A territorial gain of about 5 metres. And Dylan Mutu, who has one of their 3 goals today, has a chance to double up for himself and kick their 4th. The margin is 50. With 14 minutes played here in the third term. It's a big ask. But if there any chance, you think that Mutu needs to send this one through. A little hop and a skip. Mutu kicks it from 47. Gets plenty behind it. Mutu misses. Mutu with 1-1. The Sharks 23 trail the Swans 72.
Yeah, they're the sort of goals that you need at any level of footy. And that really would have helped the Sharks if they were ever going to have any kind of comeback in this game. It's hard to say that they're going to come back and win this one because of the way the Swans have played. And they kick it downfield, the Sydney Swans. So Rose now has the ball just on the boundary line. Tries to go himself now. Away from one and in open pasture. Had Laidler good in cover. Ball away from Barkley. Now down towards the Swans. Good clearance there from McKenzie. Crode now has the football. But poor hand sees it goes over the boundary line. So some pressure footy there from Sean Edwards for the Swans in 19. And great work there from Barkley. Just couldn't quite get away to space.
And just behind play, Jono, young Luke Robertson is being helped up. He's still down. Been down for about 30 seconds. The ball will come in front of them now. He's in the hands of 2 trainers. I didn't see what happened to him. Don't know if we can have a look at him. We're on NEAFL TV. Robertson now gets up and... Oh, there he goes. You're getting a front row seat to the action here on NEAFL TV.
I bet you're glad you zoomed in now.
Robertson. Oh, and again. Well, it's live and uncut here on NEAFL TV. Young Luke Robertson. His first NEAFL game of 2017 comes from the field. I didn't see what happened, but he doesn't look to be in a good way.
Looked as though, from what he's doing at the moment, as though it might have been a head knock and possibly a little bit of the heat this afternoon getting to the young fella. So he seems to be in a pretty bad way, but he's upright, which is a good sign. He'll get some fluids and some water into him and he'll be good as gold. So away we go now back into this play. Good kick across field for the Sharks towards goal. And the ball will go through for or behind. So it was the number 5 there for the Sharks in Andrew Boston that had a nice kick towards goal but just couldn't quite capitalise on points. And 11-6-72 plays 3-6-24. Ball kicked down towards Cameron. Now the Sharks, they have the football. Looking impressive. Nice little turnaround kick back in, but it just finds the Swans just outside the goal square. And now they'll kick it to Jack. So Brandon Jack, he's been impressive in support play, but also he's done a lot of great work in attack. They swing it down now through Edwards. Edwards puts a nice kick, a torpedo kick down towards Pink, who tries to push it away and the ball will go out of bounds.
Well, it's all happening here at Blacktown International Sports Park. At the same time for the Sharks, it's not really happening at all. The Swans, 48 points to the good. Cameron against Thurlow. Cameron, 2 hands to it. Bounce favours Towers. A good tackle from Kerris. Follows it up nicely. Kerris, the look-away hand pass tape. Worm burner. Hand pass comes outside. Doran involved well. So too Egan. Bounding away. It's an open goal square. Egan kicks it there. The bounce will be tracked and Clements tries the unbelievable. Or was it Firewood? No, it was Cody Firewood. We saw in round 1. Bit of a highlight from Firewood. Out of congestion inside the goal square. One of the goals of the round. If you haven't seen that, have a look at the highlights on NEAFL TV from their round 1 clash against Uni. He tried the impossible again. This time it proved to be just that. So Crode, down the other end, paddles it towards the boundary line. Under pressure from Pink and out of play. 18.5 gone. 48 points the margin, the Swans. Can't see the Sharks mounting any sort of comeback at the moment when they keep going inside forward 50, then out of forward 50 without capitalising.
So the ball will be played just outside 50, far side of the ground on that right half flank. Now the ball is pushed in. Laidler tries to clear it for the Swans. Ball comes downfield, picked up nicely. So Kanash was the man involved in that tackle as well, and he tried to play some cover, so the ball up will take place. So Cameron tries to shift it across. Cunningham tried to get the football, but it's shifted beautifully away for the Sharks. They'll now come away with it, the Swans, and they'll kick inside 50. Big opportunity, needed a bounce, but it's the Sharks that get the favourable bounce. Keel, nice little hand pass for the Sharks, little over the top. Ball back inside for the Swans. Rose needed it to bounce higher than it did, and unfortunately can't quite get it. So Holland gives the ball back in field. And away they go now through Crode. And Crode appealed to the umpire for some support, but the ball's gone out of bounds just inside that 50 line.
Yeah, looking to take it from wherever they can get it at the moment, the Sharks. And one man that might need a bit of support, young Luke Robertson. He's up and about on the boundary line, going for a bit of a wander. Keep an eye on him. I'd say players will be keeping an eye on change gates if they've got the ball and there are tacklers around. Here's Edwards.
Oh,
outside of the right boot. Offline and through for a minor score. He's been good today, Edwards. His first scoring involvement, Sean Edwards. And the margin, 49 points. Crowley, right foot kick. Again, numbers with the Swans. Leonardis takes it uncontested in the end. How have they got players that free inside forward 50, the Swans? Mark is taken by Sam Murray. And it could get ugly for the Sharks if they drop off in defence. Leonardis with a good mark and Murray gets himself free. He's been good, Sam Murray. Second year as a Swans rookie. Picked up from the Wodonga Raiders. After he missed the Murray Bushrangers squad a couple of years ago. Here he is for goal number 2 today. Sam Murray trots in, puts it on its way. Well done, Sam Murray, and well done, the Swans. They are well and truly on top of Southport here in this round 2 clash. It's their 12th, and they lead 12-7-79 to Southport 3-6-24. John O'Farr, we've said it could get ugly for Southport. It's right on the precipice of that.
Yeah, it certainly is. The Sydney Swans, they are just playing clinical football, and you're dead right. They just shouldn't have that much space. Sam Murray, way too much space around him. He had all the time in the world to comfortably take that mark uncontested. Had a shot at goal. Never looked like missing from his approach. And, 12-7-79 plays 3-6-24. 21 and a half gone in this third term.
And
wow.
Luke Robertson watch, he's back on. So that's great to see. Provided a couple of highlights for us on NEAFL TV today. Luke Robertson, he's lining up on the far wing. So we hope he's all right and ready to run out this game.
So we go back to the centre. Pushed across. Stapleton, who's been good for the Swans, tries to clear it. But it's that have possession of the football. And now the ball is played from the Swans. So a poor kick from the Sharks. Nice little pop-up over the top. They run it down the boundary line. The Swans kick it inside. Pink is trying to get it. Rose is there too, and he'll see it go over the boundary line. Bit of a push in the back there from Mackenzie. So the frustration starting to show some signs by the Sharks. They're not really going to win any contest if they start with that sort of stuff this afternoon. The confidence and ability of the Swans will just shine a bit brighter. So the ball comes back in field, pushed away by the Swans. Nice little tap over the top. Picked up from Rose, and he's brought in a tackle. And again, pushed out of bounds by Mackenzie. So Mackenzie involved in plenty of defence there, but it's not really leading to anything at this point in time. We're almost at three-quarter time. There's been a few goals for the Swans. Not much to speak of as Edwards gives the ball across field. They shift it away now to Jack. Jack gives the ball back in field. Swans have a nice kick at goal. Comes towards the line, and Rose takes an impressive mark inside 50. So it was a good kick there by Talia from the Swans. And as I've said that, Rose has kicked in field. And the Swans now have an opportunity through, I think it's Sam Barkley. So Barkley now will have a shot right in front of the posts, inside 50. Had a shot earlier in the piece, no wasting time in the approach. Moves in, pretty confident Sam Barkley. Strikes it pretty well. And it's a goal for the youngster. So a terrific goal there for the 19-year-old, number 53, Sam Barkley. And the margin now goes a little bit further, almost 60 points. 13-7-85, plays 3-6-24. So looking very ugly for Southport. Keep in mind it was 52-15 at half-time. That scoreline a very different case at, well, almost three-quarter time. And the disappointing thing from a Southport point of view is that only 9 points have been scored in this entire term, where the Swans, they well and truly have gone on with it, scoring 33.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's not a great picture for Southport at all, whichever way you look at it. They've only managed one goal in every term so far. So that's concerning, given that the Swans are having it all their own way at this point. Almost 25 minutes played here in the third quarter. Acrobatic from Jed Turner. He looks all right. He's getting to his feet. Swans again go inside forward 50. Mark taken in defence from Southport. Mackenzie has the football, goes short to Boston. They look to him so often. Such an assured presence, a good user of the football. Boston goes to Crode. Crode doesn't know where to go at the moment, just loads up. Somebody else to bail him out here. Keel with the fly. Only went for it with one hand. And the kick's not his best. They're calling for deliberate. You'd hope that Keel was trying a little bit more than just to scuff it out of play from there. It's a boundary throw in. 61. Both sides round one losers to start 2017. Looks like the Swans will make amends from that. Hacked out of the contest. Fowler Pressured from Jack. Jack goes to ground, gets the hand pass away. Look at the work from the Swans, the support they're providing. Cunningham from his hands and knees. Goes to Robertson. Couldn't take the mark. Oh, the Swans just want it that little bit more at the moment. Cunningham got it from Leonardis, and Cunningham, a bullet pass up towards centre half forward. Here's Fisher, has been very good. Fisher, left foot kick, looking for Pink. It's through his hands and almost out of play. Southport with Kerris.
So Kerris will try and clear it from the goal square. Pressure being applied by the Swans. Under plenty of it at the moment, the Southport Sharks. They try and clear it from their goal square. Kick across field. Mark was taken. It was a juggling act there. And Kerris kicks the ball back in field. And Holland will now have the football. He'll try and pass it across field. Nice little kick downfield. So looking impressive now. Thurul now in the middle of the field. He'll kick long through the midfield. Go into open space. It'll find itself through the arms of Jack. And now the Swans kick it downfield. So Cameron now has the football. Way too much space for Jeremy Cameron. And Cameron now has the football. And across field, the Swans go. Nice ball in field. So that is three-quarter time. That siren. There was a kick there from Adam Kanash. It goes to no avail. So at three-quarter time, it's Sydney well and truly in front. 13-7-85 plays the Southport Sharks. 3-6-24. That is three-quarter time. One term to go in this double-header contest. Of course, GWS, they will take on Sydney Uni. That is the game after this. Kicks off at 4:30. Stay with us for the fourth term. Sydney v Southport, and of course GWS plays Sydney Uni. So plenty of great footy still to come here on NEAFL TV.
Well, it's great to have your company here on NEAFL TV. The fourth quarter of the Sydney Swans and Southport NEAFL round 2 clash is ahead of us. It's been one-way traffic since early in the contest. The Swans led by 8 at quarter time, by 37 at half time. They now lead by 61. And as we touched on in that third term, the Sharks have only managed 1 goal in each of the opening 3 terms. Still plenty to play for Southport. They won't get the win today, but they need to start showing Coach Nathan Bock that they are committed and able to compete in season 2017. They lost their round 1 clash, Southport. That was against Sydney Uni by 32 points. The Swans lost against Brisbane, so they look like they will even it up 1-1. Southport, though, they've got about 27 to 30 minutes of football, John O'Farr, to show that they really do want to be lining up for the Sharks this year.
Well, if they are to win this contest, I think I've seen everything in football because this is an insurmountable odds to come back here.
No, they won't win it. Yeah,
they really have been disappointing is probably the best word, because you can see the ability through their team sheet. You know, the likes of Dylan Mutu, Crode has been trying all afternoon. Ericsson has been brilliant. Keel right at the back. Tate, Boston, as Will has said a couple of times, has really been their spine to try and get them out of trouble. Doran's been really strong. Thalo, he was strong in the first half, but has been a little bit quiet, especially in that third term. Mackenzie's been pretty good at patches, but he's just been getting involved in some off-the-play incidents, which is just not great, and it sort of gives the opposition an even bigger chance and a lift. So the margin now is quite substantial. The Swans, you would think, would go on with this, and I think it's just by how much at this point.
Yeah, and Jordan Kerris, the best of them all for mine. 28 disposals for Kerris, 5 marks and 4 tackles. He's been trying hard, really trying to get them going in the right direction. Cunningham is wrapped up by that man, Kerris. And then Jed Turner gives Darcy Cameron a little bit stronger than what you'd describe as a cuddle. Cameron with the height advantage wins the tap. Kerris, another disposal, gets it away. Ericsson. Now the clearing kick comes from a teammate. Well done from Talia. Big, strong fist. And it's out of play off the leg of Cody Firewood, but above the knee, so it'll be a ball in. Early stages here of the final term. Wonderful conditions here at Blacktown International Sports Park. The footy, well, it's lifted since the opening term. It was a pretty scrappy opening. Pressure was good from both sides, but the Swans have been able to settle and really take control.
Good opportunity here for Southport. They need to clear the ball. But it's the Swans that have full possession of the football. And the ball will go down to ground. And it'll be Dean Towers, the man with the football. So it's now cleared away. Cunningham with the kick. Down towards midfield. Picked up by Rose. Nice little juggling act from him. Tried to clear it away. The Swans go, but too many numbers for Southport. Now Crode has the football. Little kick over the top. And it'll be the 5 in Boston that has the football. So he'll kick outside 50. The straight kick down towards inside 50. Pushed away by the Swans. Now it's cleared by the Sharks. Nice little kick across field. But it'll be a disappointing finish in the end for the Sharks. And the Swans, they'll shift it across the back line. Little kick over the top. Fisher now with the football. Gives it in field to Edwards. Edwards now. Swans through the midfield. Strong kick. Inside 50. Need a mark. Can't quite get it. Picked up loosely by the Swans. Still plenty of numbers. The pass went over the top. Barkley tried to get it. But now the Sharks will spread it down the boundary line. And some clever work there from Keel. Will kick it down towards our broadcast area. And Thurul will try and push it away. Nice work there. Edwards now for the Swans. Pushes it back. Kicks it across field. And it's a smart mark taken in midfield.
Cunningham has it, got it from Fisher. Cunningham taking the game on. It's a good kick up for Maybaum, who's playing in the attacking 50 to start the fourth term. Has Gowers all on his own. Gowers just in time. The pressure was coming Sets it up for Cameron. Can't take the mark. Murray's involved. Cameron got a little nudge and goes to ground. He looks to be in trouble, Darcy Cameron. It's a bit of a shoulder complaint as Pink snaps across his shoulder. Toby Pink has his third of the afternoon. The Swans with a lively start to the final term. Cameron slow to get up, and Pink gives the Swans their 14th. They're 4-7-91. Southport 3-6-24 as Darcy Cameron comes towards the bench. But Toby Pink has showed that he can do it when the ball hits the ground as well as taking them in the air.
Yeah, he's been impressive right across this game. There's a couple of changes for the Swans. Adam Kanash comes on, and the 53 and Sam Barkley. So a couple of changes for the Swans. Cunningham will make his way to the boundary line for a break. So to Cameron. And a player now coming on for the Swans is the 57 in Luke Robertson. So he's had an interesting game. Copped a head knock earlier in the piece, which we brilliantly captured on NEAFL TV.
Well, in fairness, we didn't catch the incident, but we
No.
caught the follow-through.
Yes, the end result was brought to our viewers live across Australia. So the ball now comes across to Crode for the Sharks, and he'll kick it inside the midfield. Picked up nicely by the Sharks. They try and clear it down towards the boundary line. Keel gives a ball back inside to Holland. Holland, nice little pass. Good passage of play here from the Sharks. They kick it inside 50, but can't quite find that completion they need. And the ball goes out of bounds on the far side. So a really impressive passage of play there from the Sharks, but they just couldn't get it together when it mattered. And now the chance goes begging, and the Swans have another opportunity of possession to try and clear it out of their own goal square. Ball comes in field. Nicely tapped away by the Sharks, picked up by the Swans, kicked and cleared to the midfield. Chance now for the Swans, picked up by Zarul, the big fella, trying to tower through. Keel tries to get the football but can't quite get it. It's a battle between Crode and Pink wins it with a nice little soccer kick off the ground. Down towards inside 50, picked up brilliantly by the Swans. It now comes across to Toby Pink. Pink, one bounce, kicks, little grubber kick. Nice finish from Toby Pink. And, well, it's his fifth goal, I think. Fourth goal for the game for Toby Pink. And it couldn't come any easier for the young 19-year-old. So the margin now getting even further in front. 15-7-97 plays 3-6-24. The Swans over Southport with just over 5 played in this final term.
Yeah, fantastic start to this fourth quarter. A couple of quick goals for the Swans, and they lead by 73. So it's getting ugly for the Sharks. They're desperate to try and peg a few back here. There hasn't been much to cheer about whatsoever. Toby Pink's been really good. His fourth goal. First year on the Swans list. He is rookie listed. And if you haven't seen his effort last year playing for Glenelg in the under-18s grand final, you must watch it. He kicked a behind from 70 metres out with scores level. The siren had gone and they won their grand final on the back of his work. Great vision. We're seeing some good stuff from him here in the NEAFL today as well. Thine has it for the Sharks. Just floats it up towards Thurlow. He'll have to chase it towards the boundary line. Big Fraser Thurlow, two-time NEAFL Team of the Year member. Known for his work in the ruck rather than tracking the ball at ground level. And he'll just trudge away from this contest. Jed Turner in the ruck against young Joe Stapleton. Turner uses the body, gets the tap. Crode up against Pink. Crode goes to Thurlow, gives it back to Crode. The pressure comes, it's good from Robertson. Tate, hand pass for Keel. Good from the Swans. They are pressuring every single possession the Sharks have. Boston, good strength from him. Missed Mitch Johnson with the hand pass. Spinning into it was Fisher. Couple of the top-ups for the Swans waxing well. It's up towards Maybaum. Can't take the mark, but Pink has it. Pink will back himself against Thurlow. He goes from 70 metres out this time as well, Toby Pink. He needs the ball to bounce. It's bouncing towards the goal square, but it'll sit up and just towed towards the boundary line. And it'll be a free kick for the Swans for deliberate out of bounds. Sam Murray fighting hard against Mackenzie to get the football. But just as we mentioned Toby Pink's good work in the under-18 grand final, he almost lined up and scored from 70 here. The Sharks now with Mackenzie. They need a mark here, the Sharks. They won't get it. So a disputed football inside defensive 50. They are mucking about with it.
Well, that was a disappointing end to a great piece of footy from Toby Pink, who just, I think, was maybe 5 or 10 short of where he needed to be. But a great effort there from the Swans as the Sharks try and clear it. And now it's Boston that has the football, and he'll now be looking for options. Kicks across the field, tried to find Keel, but it's come back to the Swans. They turn around, and it'll be just the one behind for the Sydney Swans. So that probably could have been a goal for the Swans. They seem to be dropping off just a little bit in intensity. They can afford to. They're in front by 74, the margin now. 15-8-98 plays 3-6-24. And there'll be, just trying to locate the ball, and it looks as though it's on that far side. So there'll be...
No, Boston just had to go around the other side of the fence and fetch it from the bottom of the netting.
So there we go. So the ball comes across away to Boston now. He'll try and look for some options. Needs to clear it. Good kick. Now the ball will come across field. So Boston now with the football again. He's just on that far side of the field. He's just inside 50, but he needs to kick long and strong here. Not a bad looking kick, and it'll find its way into a huge pack of players for the Swans.
It hits the deck, but there'll be a free kick for a push, and it goes Swans' way. Advantage is paid. Rose moved it well done from Johnson, broke it up. Hand pass over the top for Big Fraser Thurlow. Plenty of space to work into, and there is a man free inside forward 50. It'll bounce in front of Clements. Clements has it, right foot kick across the face of goal. Cunningham was bearing down on it, and it'll be a one behind score for Southport. So the margin, 73. Very impressive stuff from the Swans, but conversely, not Southport's best as Fowler flies high over the top of Talia and punches the ball out of play. Right next to a couple of signs I know were very close to your heart, Jono. Yeah, I love Blacktown signs. I heard a little rumour that's exactly what you've got tattooed across your chest.
Oh, well, there goes that secret. Anyway, okay, that's out of the bag. That's okay. No, I absolutely love the West. It's been good to me. So I've got no reason to be to it. But great place to live and spend some time the West as the Swans try and kick it downfield. They are a long way from home, from their spiritual home at the Sydney Cricket Ground in Sydney's east. And Crowd along the boundary line, flirts with the boundary line and kicks downfield. And they find themselves inside 50. So an opportunity now for the Sharks through Fowler. He's just outside 50. Nice kick, looks pretty good. And Fowler has just sprayed it to the right. So it'll be a behind. So it's opportunities like that they just haven't taken advantage of. And 15-8. 98 plays 3-8-26. So the ball comes down towards our broadcast position. Rose has it, flirts with the sideline, comes back in field, one bounce, tap across the field, ball goes across field. Now the tackle over the top, and the Swans prevent any more play, and it's Gowers brilliant in defence, and Matt Doran couldn't go any further for the Sharks. So the ball up right in front of us. Thrall tries to push it away. Nice little kick there from Stapleton. Tries to clear it. Jack has it. Stapleton tries to pick it up. Gowers now with the football, and he's brought down to ground. It's now pushed away. The Swans try and clear it. Need to come up with some numbers. Nice little pop over the top. And the pass comes the way of the Sharks through Seb Tate. He'll kick it downfield. So the Swans now moving nicely. Good ball across. Edwards, he's been strong in these final two terms. Kicks into open pasture. Opportunities for the Swans outside 50. Cunningham, little kick infield. Toby Pink will finish it. And another goal to Toby Pink. Well, I said the last one couldn't come any easier. He's just topped me with that one. And the Swans, they now go further in front. So just over 12 gone. And they've cracked the 100 mark, so 104 plays 26. 16-8, 104 plays 4-8. 26.
Yeah, very easy stuff for the Swans. No doubt about that. They are absolutely on top. And lead 104 to 26. Cracked the ton, and it's a great showing after losing that round one clash against Brisbane by 26 points. Resurgent Brisbane, but the Swans are, as always, expected to be very strong. That'll be called back. Shepherd is up into the ruck. It's been a tough day for Hamish Shepherd. No goals for him today. The former Fremantle Dockers rookie, hailing from the beautiful Margaret River region in Western Australia. A little bit of a run in the middle for him late. As the sun starts to set here in Sydney's West, it's certainly not setting on our work on NEAFL TV today. This is game one of a double-header. Up next is the Giants, and Sydney Uni as Keris continues to work really hard. Outside of the right boot, Laidler. Watched it the whole way and back with the flight, takes the mark. Laidler short for Brandon Jack. Stapleton, or Robertson rather. Robertson had Leonardis running in support. He got a little bit too close to him. Robertson now called to move it, and play on's the call. Robertson just loads up, puts it towards Edwards, inside forward 50. Edwards got one hand to it. Mutu was good for the Sharks in defence. Pink lays a strong tackle. The umpire will come in and we'll have a ball up. So 14 minutes played here in the final term. The Swans, 104, lead the Sharks 26.
So if you take a look at the third term score, it was 85 to 24. So only 2 points scored by the Sharks as the ball goes out of bounds. And 19 points there by the Swans. So 19 playing 2. And we've had almost 15 minutes gone in this final term. So some work to do for next week for the Sharks. And a good return to form after their round one loss for the Swans. We've just made a change, the Sydney Swans. And it looks as though Will Gowers is coming onto the field. Cunningham will sit a spell, and it looks like Cameron is not too far away from a return to the field. The ball comes in field, pushed away by the Swans. Nice work there. Barkley gives it across, and it will be the 46 in Fisher that sees it go out of bounds. In fact, that's Murray. So Murray will push the ball out of bounds. Ball comes in field. Nice little push away. The Sharks try to get it. Good work from Jack. Here they come. Nice little turnaround kick for the Swans. And it's an impressive goal for the Sydney Swans. Sean Edwards, the man that kicked it. And that was a really classy goal that came from absolutely nothing. 17-8-1-10, plays 3-8-26, just over 16 gone in this final term. And well, that goal really sums up the afternoon for the Swans. Class football and creating opportunities out of seemingly nothing.
Yeah, they've impressed, haven't they? They were good to start in terms of the way they set up their defensive structure, and it held Southport at bay in those first 15 or so minutes. We went about 15 without a goal before Cunningham kicked the game's first, and that looked to frustrate the Sharks. They had a lot of ball early on, working off Fraser Thurlow's good work in the middle. They just weren't able to find a mark inside attacking 50. The Swans had numbers back every time the Sharks looked up, and after picking them off, the Swans worked their way into it and have not looked back since early in the second term. Good to see Cameron okay after coming off with a shoulder complaint. Nice work from Keel, but a very good tackle on him. Ball comes out. Keris, a good tackle from him on Jack. Here's Dean Towers. They've been tagging him very well in the second half. Cameron got it from Murray. Now Jack. That's a good kick for Toby Pink. Pink looking for options inside forward 50. A lead came from Maybaum, but Toby Pink with 5 to his name. Distance shouldn't be too much of a problem after a full pre-season on an AFL list for the young man. Here he is, Toby Pink, no doubt a future cult hero of the Sydney Swans. Toby Pink comes to his right, lines up from 50. Doesn't look like it's got the carry. Players will fly at the top of the square. Plenty of it at the front for the Swans. Here's Mutu spinning into an Edwards tackle. And Edwards has a fair bit of him. So Toby Pink can't add to his 5th goal, but good to see him back in from there.
Yeah, he needed to swing it around just to the right-hand side, but I think he gave it too much swish. And as a result, it's just landed just short of the goal square. And they try and clear it now. So the Sharks working through some busy traffic. Plenty of red and white numbers just involved in there. And Sam Barkley just giving some instructions to some players just on the outer ruck. So the ball is played in field. Cameron tried to tap it away. Nice little clearing kick. It's socket across the ground. Goes into outside 50, and the Sharks try and get it, but the Swans have it and kick it back in field. But the ball is marked by the Sharks on that far side, and it'll be McKenzie that has the footy in his hands. So he now tries to look for an option. Taking his time, McKenzie. Nice little kick picked up off the ground on the half volley. And Fowler now with the football. He'll try and look for an opportunity for the Sharks. He'll kick down the boundary line. Down towards, it's marked by the Swans. And now they will play it through Cameron. And now they're on that far side. So they kick across field. Jack tries to get the ball from the bounce. Over the top tackle. And the ball will be played just outside the 50. So the Swans, they're really looking as though they've dropped off the pace a bit. And they can afford to do that by being so far in front. 110 plays 26. 19 gone in this final term, of course. GWS playing Sydney Uni. So the second game of this blockbuster Saturday here at Blacktown International Sports Park. You'll catch all the live action with myself, John O'Farr, and Will Davies here on NEAFL TV.
Yeah, he certainly will, and it's great to be bringing it to you. Here's Robertson. Kick, not his best work. Pink is up against it. Thine just tries to take him on. Pink held on, but Thine was able to get the arms free. Through Keel to Crode. Crode now for Thine, back to Keel. Toby Pink still involved. Keel up for Mitch Johnson. Meets it well. Boston. Right foot kick, strokes it really nicely. And Fowler out in front of himself. Takes a good mark. He has one of their 3 goals today, Fowler. He has won 1. So a strong contributor on the scoreboard for Southport. They only have the 3 goals, 8 for the day. They've been thumped by the Swans here. 17-8, 110 leading. The Sharks 3-8-26. Here's Fowler. Tough angle from 50. It's across the face and doesn't have the carry either. Players fly. It's off hands and rushed through by O'Riordan. They move it quickly. Robertson. Gee, he's been good. We'll remember him perhaps more for what came out of his mouth than off his boot today, I think. But he has tried really hard, Luke Robertson. Running so hard, in fact, that breakfast and lunch all were left here on Blacktown International Sports Park. But the recovery process will be a good one for him. And it was great to see after a couple of vomits, he went to the bench, got the attention he needed and came flying back on, and he keeps to contribute.
Yeah, well, they say leave it all out in there on the field. Well, he certainly did that this afternoon, Luke Robertson, for the Swans. And, well, it's good to see him back on his feet, as Will said. He's got the proper vitamins and the liquids back into the system, and he just seems to have been the victim of a bit of a head knock, so he looks okay at this stage, which is great news. Ball will come in field, just outside the 50. Pushed away. Nice little push there from Brandon Jack. He now comes up with the football, and they move it through Robertson. And back to Jack. Jack has plenty of space. Nice little kick. Tries to find Rose. Does that. Good ball back in field. Swans moving it brilliantly just outside 50. Nice little push there away, and the ball will go out of bounds. And the man that was trying to go high was Jack Maybaum, just inside the 50. Couldn't quite get it, and the ball goes out of bounds. So the Swans now almost there at the full-time siren. 110 plays 27. Southport making some changes, and the ball comes in field. So just inside that left pocket, pushes away across. Swans try and get it, clear it away. Stapleton keeps his eye on it, floats. Ball comes to Laidler. He just soccers it across the ground. Sean Edwards, ball comes across to Kanash. Kanash gives the ball infield. Nice little play here from the Swans. Kick for home. Long and strong, and a great goal to the Sydney Swans. Colin O'Riordan, the goal scorer. And that puts a little bit further in front the Swans, 116, 18-8, 116, 3-9-27. Just gone 23 minutes in this final term.
Yeah, great finish from O'Riordan. He was on the cusp of, well, potentially playing AFL football last year when he suffered a season-ending injury up in Darwin, a punctured lung, and had to then drive home with a member of the Swans staff. He's from Ireland, and he said when they first suggested it, he thought, oh, it'll be a drive about the length of Ireland, but he soon realised it's a little bit further than that. I think he described it as 8 return trips the length of Ireland. So had a couple of days bonding and plenty of time to think about this journey he's on here in Australia playing AFL football. But he was really good last year, and if he can stay fit and produce the same sort of form, very confident he will be playing AFL football soon. Keris has been pinged for a throw. He either doesn't like it or is just reminding himself he has a delightful head of hair, Jordan Keris. The Swans again work it up into forward 50. Darcy Cameron calling for a lead. I'd like to see him have a crack at this, Cameron. Instead, he just dinks it over the top. It's a good kick and a good mark from Sam Fisher. Not easy to do with pressure. Showed strong hands. But Cameron is in that battle with Callum Sinclair and Kurt Tippett when fit, and Sam Naismith for that rucking role for the Swans. He needs to start kicking some goals to really assert himself on selection day. Maybe just a little bit too far from him. Unselfish, no doubt, but he'll work his way into the season really well. Darcy Cameron, who is here from Western Australia. But we're with Sam Fisher, looking for goal number 2. Fisher sends it on its way, strikes it well, but it's offline from the moment it left his boot. One behind for Fisher and also the Swans. So 90 points the margin, and 24 1/4 played. Keris with another disposal coming up.
Sharks try and clear it outside their 50. Nice little kick over the top. It's taken away now, and the ball will go over the top. So the Sharks just kicking it around as though they're leading by plenty. It's a very interesting tactic that they've been taking, especially in this final term. As Will said, the margin is 90 points, so a decent thumping from this very impressive Sydney Swan side. The ball comes infield 50 and it's been marked. And it will be a chance now for the Sydney Swans in their number 30 in Leonardis to have a strike at goal. He's right in front of the post. The mark was taken about 40 out. And you would think if this comes with a clean pair of heels, it'll be straight between the posts. So Leonardis moves in. Very composed the way he goes. Nice looking kick. The 20-year-old adds to the extras. And it's now 19-9, 123. Plays 3-9-27 with almost 27 gone in this final term. There seems to be a bit of a stoush just on the 50 line, Will.
Yeah, everybody grabbing a jump up. A little bit of frustration for the Sharks late. And the Swans, well, they're happy just to grab a piece of the jumper as well. Ice hockey style, everybody grab a man and watch to see if anybody else does anything. But they've dispersed, and not a huge amount for Southport to crow about at this point. They're staring down the 100-point deficit at the moment, and there wouldn't be much to play. We're 26 1/4 through this fourth and final term. Having a look at some of the leading disposal winners, Jordan Keris has the most on the ground. 36 disposals for him, 7 marks and 6 tackles. A prolific ball winner, and good again today. Sam Fisher, 33 disposals. Brandon Jack, 33 as well. Boston, 30. Towers, 28. And with a couple of minutes to go, Jack is looking for another one. Gowers has it. There's a Swans player down in the middle of the ground. We'll come back to that as they muck about with it. The Swans. Boston lays a really heavy tackle. Numbers, though, with the Swans. They get it out of defensive 50 through Jack Rose. Uses the body well. Goes back in for it, James Rose. Spins out of a tackle. Now goes to Robertson. Charles, let me know it's Stapleton, one of the top-ups, the man that stayed down in the centre. Fisher puts it on his boot. Cameron flies, gets a great grabbed that one. Darcy Cameron has a free man, and unselfishly again, Darcy Cameron spots up Toby Pink. And Pink, well, he needs to be careful not to play on there because he's certainly within range, Toby Pink. 5 goals to his name today. Darcy Cameron, nice work from him. A good clunk by Cameron. And Pink attracting Cameron's attention like a moth to a flame. Here is Toby Pink. A terrific outing from him today. Can he put the exclamation mark on it with his 6th? He certainly can. Toby Pink has kicked 6 and he stretches the margin beyond 100 points. It's been an outstanding display from Pink and the Swans.
Stapleton's just come off the field. It looks as though that left ankle is giving him a bit of grief. He's not walking unassisted, but he seems to be okay. Maybe a calf strain or an ankle injury there. And he's just making his way to the boundary line. So a brilliant performance from Toby Pink. 6 goals for the 19-year-old this afternoon. It's been a superb performance. He's been involved in absolutely everything. Very similar performance. We saw that from the GWS Giants, which is coming up. They play the Sydney Uni side in this second game of Blockbuster Saturday here at Blacktown. Will Stapleton was the man that I was referring to from the Giants. He was involved in everything. Didn't kick 6 goals, but was really the turning point in the Giants' victory last week in Homebush at Spotless over the Suns. And Toby Pink this afternoon has certainly done that for the Swans as we return to live play. And the ball up will take place to the left-hand side. That man again, Pink, just trying to clear it. Nice little ball across. Holland kicks it away for the Sharks. Picked up over the top. Thurul tried to get a hand in there. And the Swans now try and clear it. Nice little hand pass away. Towers put the kick. Not quite what he wanted. And it's been marked by the Sharks. And it's been kicked across field. So Thurul through the middle. The big fella. Nice little kick across field. And he'll be just socketed off the ground. Holland tried to come in for some support. But Rose gets it on the tip of his fingers. Had enough. Nice little pass infield. Holland now with the football for the Sharks. Themselves in the midfield. Good little pass across field. Sharks now just trying to clear it from that midfield. They need some good work. And a good mark there was taken but uncompleted. So the Swans will capitalise on that mistake. Kick it downfield. Cameron tried to get the football. He pushes away from one. Good work there from Laidler, who pushes it down towards the 50 line. And the sheer numbers for the Sharks will have the football and clear it through Crode.
A great long ball. Melican sits underneath it. Takes a good mark at his legs. Taken out come the finish. Unintentionally by Egan. Fisher has the mark. He's been terrific. Feigned to pass for Melican. Shepherd now approaches him. Maybaum has looked good up forwards. He's presented well. Started the game in defence. Into the attacking corridor. Mark not taken. Keris diving in over the football. And we'll have a ball up. We'll be under lights soon, certainly soon into the second of the 2 matches here at Blacktown International Sports Park today. Match of the round in my opinion. The Giants against Sydney Uni. That follows this one live on NEAFL TV. Ball trickling towards the line. Melican up against Jed Turner. Former Aspley player. Came down to Sydney, did turn up, played for Sydney Uni, then went back to Aspley. The 2014 NEAFL Premiership winner with the Hornets. Now finds himself at Southport. Cameron against Shepherd. 2 West Australians. Shepherd wins the ball. Jack under pressure can't take possession. Keris to Johnson. Now for Holland. Holland, right foot kick, looking for Clements. Got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Robertson has support. Robertson lays the Shepherd. Kanash going back for it. Well done, Clements. Clements towards the open goal square, but O'Riordan's floated back and taken the mark.
So the Swans now try to clear it off their line. So just giving the Swans way too much space at the moment. They're on the far side of the ground. Nice little ball and kick across field. It's marked on that far side. Finds the ball in field and now over to the centre square. Come loosely. So the Sharks just now have possession. They kick it downfield. Marked impressively. The Sharks try and clear it. And it was some great work there for the Sydney Swans in O'Riordan that tried to push it clear. And he's managed to come up with the football. So O'Riordan kicks to the far side. And that siren in the background suggests full time here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It's been an impressive game of football from the Sydney Swans perspective. Some room for improvement, muchly for the Southport Sharks. But full time here at Blacktown in this opening game between the Sydney Swans and the Southport Sharks. Final score, the Sydney Swans 29-129 to the Southport Sharks 39-27. The quarters all won by the Swans, 14-6 quarter one. Half-time they led 52-15. At three-quarter time it was 84-24 and a big margin 129 to 129 to 27. I'll start that again. 102 points the margin. Will, it's been an impressive outing from the Sydney Swans and plenty of room for improvement for the Southport Sharks.
Yeah, they took a little bit of time to get going, Sydney Swans, but they certainly started firing once they clicked into gear. Very impressive showing from them. Toby Pink was outstanding with 6 goals and 17 disposals. 8 marks as well. That was one of the impressive parts of his game. Sam Fisher very good with 35 disposals and a goal. Brandon Jack 34 disposals and 8 marks. Dean Towers had 29 disposals, but was quiet after half-time. For Southport, Jordan Kerris was terrific, 38 disposals, 6 tackles. Andrew Boston tried hard with 30 disposals. Keel had 27 and Tate 26. The Swans, they get their first win of season 2017. They are 1-1. Southport will look for win number 1 next week when they host Brisbane at the South Pine Sports Complex. For Sydney Swans, they have a bye next week. And for us, well, we'll have a short break, and then on a different link for a different stream, we will bring you the match of round 2. It's Sydney Uni up against the Giants here on NEAFL TV. But for now, from me, Will Davies and John O'Farr, thanks for your company, and we'll look forward to doing it all again soon. Cheers.